So in this book, we're actually on number 55, and it's 100 little things that matter that can impact your life and your family and others around you. And number 55 is encourage others with your words. So I'm going to read through some of this, and I'm going to offer a few things through it, and then Chris's as well. So it says, one of my favorite quotes comes from the extraordinary public speaker and author, Cabot Robert. It says, 3 billion people on the face of the earth go to bed hungry every night, but 4 billion people go to bed every night hungry for a simple word of encouragement and recognition. Everyone needs to hear words of encouragement. When you encourage others, you lift their spirits, enhance their self-confidence, and add fuel to their motivational fire. Perhaps more than anything, you give them hope and inspiration. If simple words of encouragement can do so much to enhance someone's life, why don't we do more of it? How long could it take? 10 seconds? I went fishing a few weeks ago with an acquaintance. Kevin greeted me with a huge smile and said, "The last time I went fishing with you, you said one of the nicest things anyone has ever said to me." A little surprised, I asked him what he meant. He explained that I had paid him a great compliment by telling him how well he fought and eventually caught his 55-pound amberjack. Wow, I didn't even remember giving him this accolade, but he sure did. Not only did he remembered it 10 months later. Who would have thought a little compliment would make such a lasting impression? So I want to stop right here. There's a little bit more to read, but for myself, I have used to not be that good at stopping, giving people compliments. Sometimes I'm so busy when I'm out and about, even with social media. I'll browse but not comment, but I really started thinking about that. And even a simple compliment to somebody about how beautiful their hair is, or how their smile is, or how their energy is, or how welcoming you made them feel when you go to a restaurant. Man, to compliment a waitress or a waiter, like, thank you so much for your service. You're some of the best I've ever had. And in pretty much every single instance, there's an instant smile put on their face. In this world, and I'm the same, like, we never know what somebody's struggling with in the world. And that compliment you give them that day could help push them through that day. They could be suffering with severe depression. And I was on a trip recently, and I went with a group of women. There was 12 of us, one I knew, basically. And after we got back, I got this message from a lady, and I just wanted to read it to you. I've actually saved it on my phone. So I give compliments, but receiving was beneficial. She said, "It was really great to meet you. I wanted to tell you, I know you said you're going through a lot of stuff and working on yourself, but I admire your carefree energy. It's welcoming, and the beautiful caution to the wind attitude you have. You have such a free spirit to you, welcoming and inspiring. Thank you so much." So for that, I say that. And on my down days, I remember that when I get down on myself. So giving those compliments, receiving them, you don't know who you've complimented that they have that saved on their phone. And that was from last year. And I still keep that, and I keep that handy. So this says, to continue, in today's world where people are so self-consumed with their own interests and desires, hearing words of encouragement are rare. While there are a lot of things you can do to strengthen your relationship with others, there are a few things you can do or say that mean more to people than words of encouragement. In the words of Zig Ziglar, you never know when a moment and a few sincere words can have an impact on a life. How about taking the time to offer some positive reinforcement or pay a compliment? Be intentional about looking for the good in others and telling them what you see. You may think someone doesn't need to hear an encouraging word, but they may be the ones who need it the most. Do you have a parent, maybe a spouse, a significant other who needs some words of encouragement? Do you have a child who aspires to win a race, or a teenager who is hoping to be accepted to a certain college? Is there an employee struggling to complete an assignment or a monthly report? Perhaps your friend is down in the dumps, and a word of encouragement from you is all he or she needs to change their mood. Here are a few key points to remember when offering that encouragement. Make it sincere, make it memorable, and speak from your heart. Why not surprise them with unexpected words that make them feel appreciated for what they do or who they are? And a few things I want to add here before I hand it to Chris to compliment. No matter if it's a little 3-year-old, my boyfriend has a little girl, she's the cutest thing ever, And when I compliment her about her hair or the clothes she put on or anything, how she counted her numbers 1 to 20 yesterday, she was just counting. And I said, man, you did such an amazing job. You're so smart. You do so good, and gave her a high five, and she just beamed. And whether it's somebody like my grandma who's 95 years old and I compliment how beautiful her hair looks today or the smile on her face or how much I love her, it impacts her. So no matter the age, we all crave that, and we all need it. Chris, I wanted to pass it to you for any feedback you have, and then I've got a few final things I'm going to read here.
Yeah, absolutely. Great job, Jennifer. And, guys, this is such a simple, easy task that any of us can do in our lives. And I know I see a lot of this in the police department. I was just telling a guy the other day that he is one of the – because in that environment – it's not always a positive environment, so when you see that, it's really nice to see. But we've got this guy, he's a corporal in my unit, and he is the biggest encourager I've ever seen. So every day I walk into the police department, he's asking me how I'm doing. He's asking me about my kids. He tells me I'm doing a good job, and that bleeds over. Other people see that, and they start doing the same thing, and I start doing the same thing. So we've created this pretty incredible, encouraging environment in a place that's not normally very encouraging, and it all started with one guy, and so that was really cool to see. So no matter where you're at in life, no matter who you're around, a encouraging word goes a long ways, and it transcends from person to person. So just make it a point to go out there and be an encourager. Jennifer, I'll pass it back to you.
That's awesome. Yeah, the positive ripple effect. When we can give somebody a smile, pass that on, a compliment, then hopefully they'll take that and pass it on to somebody else and make their day better. So the challenge, the Little Things Matter challenge, it says, when you see people working hard to reach a goal, take 10 seconds to encourage them. If you have seen progress in the pursuit, tell them what you have observed. Your words of encouragement may be just what they need to keep their dreams alive. Comments like, you're doing a great job, keep up the good work, and you rock, go a long, long way in making a difference in someone's outlook. Make sure your words communicate your genuine feelings. While the words themselves are powerful, the feelings behind those words are what will be remembered. Before going to bed tonight, think of 3 people to encourage, recognize, and compliment. Just 3. Will you do it? And then this last thing it says here is, when you look for the good in others and tell them what you see, you enhance their self-image and stand out in their minds as someone who noticed their efforts. So that is our challenge to you today. You know, if you're in a manager-type position, if you're going to work, you're around people, you're going to be around children, sadly, it gets to a point where a lot of times all we hear is what's wrong, what we need to fix. You need to do this. Don't do that. So think, what can I say to somebody, even if it's not perfect? Remember, this said progress in the pursuit. So it may not have been done perfect, but what did they do in that was good? And then what could be better if you need to address that? But compliment, let them know what's right. So that is a wrap. So I appreciate each and every one being on here. We do these Monday through Friday. 8:15 is our start time, Central Standard Time, and we are done by 8:30. We want to make sure you get going. So please feel free to reach out, invite people to join us. To say goodbye. You guys have an awesome day today. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Good job,
Bye.
Thank you.
Great call. Just want to keep encouraging.